friends and welcome back. If you're new here, my name's Kallie Branciforte. In today's video, I'm going to share with you guys a huge healthy grocery haul. I'm going to include some of my go-to healthy staples that I always pick up, and then I'm going to share with you guys how I use a lot of these ingredients to make some really simple, super quick healthy meals, because for me, I will eat healthy if it's quick and it's easy. Otherwise, I just default to peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, which is fine sometimes. For me, it has to be quick and it has to be easy. So I have some healthy go-to meals that I use. Some of them are ones that I prep ahead of time and I can kind of eat throughout the week. So I will share that with you guys at the end. But first, let's just take a look at everything I got at the store. Backing up really quick before I go shopping, I do always make a list of what I need and what I'm gonna get. And I do this because I'm a meal planner, and if you're curious about my method, I will link a video down below all about it. But one thing is, it is very helpful to have a partner with you while you make your list, and it's bonus points if they're super cute and they use crayons. Alright, starting with produce, obviously there's a lot of produce here. I'm not going to share with you every single bit of fruit and vegetable I got. Obviously, I just try to have lots of fresh fruits and fresh veggies. I'm really good about eating fresh fruit just because I feel like it's really easy to just pick it up and eat. Vegetables I'm not as good about eating because I feel like a lot of vegetables have to be prepped. So two of the recipes I'm going to share with you are two vegetable-based recipes, and I use this all the time. It requires just a little bit of prep and then you can eat it all week long, and it's such an easy way for me to make sure I'm getting my vegetables in. Tons of strawberries. I love strawberries. My son loves strawberries. Tons of avocados because I eat almost an avocado every day. I also really love mini cucumbers. I don't know what it is, but I find them more snackable. Oh, this is the spinach that I always buy, the Olivia's baby spinach. And the reason I buy this one is because it comes in this smaller one. This is the, how much is this? This is the 0.5 ounce. They usually have, I think they also have a 1 or a 2 ounce, which I can never get through before it goes bad. So I love that this one comes in a slightly smaller one because I'm never wasting it. And one thing that you guys actually taught me is to put a sheet of paper towel in here, and it helps it last a little bit longer. Okay, moving on to a couple other things that you get sort of in the produce section. I eat a lot of Mediterranean-based food, so I have some hummus here. I can be a little bit picky about hummus because lots of times I will make homemade hummus, which is actually really easy. But my go-to right now is Ithaca hummus. I've talked about this on my Instagram stories a million times, but this hummus is so good. It literally tastes like you just made it yourself. Two other Mediterranean-ish staples that I always get is tzatziki and tabbouleh. These are obviously ones you can also home make. These are obviously other ones that you can make from scratch. Lots of times I do make my tzatziki from scratch because it's pretty easy. But again, because my grocery haul and what I'm sort of focusing on right now is just quick, easy dinners and lunches, I need stuff that's just gonna be fast for me. And so I do like to buy these prepared ones because I know that way when Monday comes and I'm in a rush and I need a quick lunch, I'm way more likely to grab this and get something healthy. Another product that I discovered maybe a year ago and I eat all of the time now is this marinated, I think it's called marinated tofu. It's called tofu baked. And it's basically marinated tofu that has had all of the liquid drained. Have you ever bought tofu before? It usually sits in a liquid, and you can literally dice it up and eat it cold. So I will dice this up, I'll throw it on top of salads. I think tofu is a really great source of protein and iron. Personally, I'm not a big meat eater. I spent about 15 years of my life as a vegetarian, and ever since I came back into the meat eating world, I've just been really picky about meat, and so I just don't eat a ton of meat. So it's important to me to make sure that I'm getting my protein sources elsewhere. So I love this for that. We have some steak and salmon. I'm not a steak eater. My husband loves it. Okay, in the yogurt department, I have two yogurts to tell you about. The first one is, I never really know. I don't know if it's pronounced Phage. Talked about this on Instagram stories one time about how I think this is the best Greek yogurt, and I got messages from a handful of followers who live in Greece, and they told me, I mean, don't quote me, but this is what they told me, that this is the only Greek yogurt you can get in the States that's actually from Greece, which is very cool, but it's literally the most delicious Greek yogurt in the entire world. Miles loves it. He'll eat it plain. Sometimes I just mix a little bit of fresh fruit in it. One of my favorite things is to take this, mash a banana in it, and then put a little bit of cinnamon sugar on top. It is so good. Another yogurt that I love that I kind of use as a replacement to dessert is the Noosa's, and I honestly think that these taste like ice cream, so I will eat these as dessert. If I have a sweet tooth and I want something sweet, I will have one of these, and it always satisfies my sweet tooth and is really great because then I don't end up eating cookies or eating a bunch of ice cream, which sometimes I do because cookies and ice cream are great. But when I'm trying to balance healthy with not healthy, it works for me. Okay, really random, but we just discovered these pickles. They're called Grillo's pickles. I don't know if they've been around forever or we've just realized them. They're made out of Massachusetts, so I don't know if you can get them like all over the United States. They are literally the most delicious pickles. My husband and I love pickles. Like my husband actually, he eats pickles with every meal. Like last night we actually had breakfast for dinner, like scrambled eggs and toast, and he had pickles with it, which I think is disgusting. But long story short, we really like pickles, and these are so, so good. If you see them, get them and thank me later. Another thing that I always keep in the house is good dark chocolate. For me, it's gotta be the good stuff. I will splurge an extra $1 or $2 to get like good bars of it, because this is another thing that I use when I have a little bit of a sweet tooth. And when it's the really good dark chocolate, it will satisfy me and it'll like satisfy my craving, where if it was just like cheapy milk chocolate, I feel like 2 squares doesn't do it. Like I want more. So that's why it's worth it for me to splurge on like slightly nicer ones. So I have a huge sweet tooth, and I'm one of those people that sometimes like when I'm done eating, I could feel full, but I'm like, I just need like a little sweet. You know what I mean? Like I literally just need a single bite of something sweet. Does anybody else do that? And this is so perfect for that. We've got some black beans, some garbanzo beans. I'm gonna share a salad with you that I do with garbanzo beans pretty much every single week. Also big bag of frozen fruit. For some reason my grocery store was like completely sold out of frozen fruit, and this was literally the only variety of frozen fruit left. But Miles and I eat a lot of smoothies. If you saw my What My Toddler Eats in a Day video, I'll link it down below. You see that we eat smoothies like almost every single day. And then this is kind of random, but I love these little things of Purdue chicken breasts. My guess is they're probably slightly more expensive per chicken breast, but because like I said, I'm not a big meat eater, these are so nice because they're individually packaged chicken breasts. I just throw the entire thing in the freezer. These are just like a really quick fallback. You can like cook one of these up, make a sandwich out of them, cook it up with some veggies, and you're good to go. So we always keep these in our freezer. Okay, so let's jump into some of my healthy meals. Okay, so the first thing I'm making is a chickpea Brussels sprout salad, and this lasts for about a week in the fridge, so it's a super great thing to make ahead, and I just use it to like snack on or have as a side dish all week long. I'm just taking some Brussels sprouts. I'm going to basically shave these really thin and then mix that with a can of drained and rinsed chickpeas. And then to this, I'm going to add a splash of olive oil, some salt and pepper, and then I zest and juice half of a lemon, and I give a good scoop of a high quality mustard. I add in 1 diced garlic clove and a drizzle of honey. Now, I'm kind of bad with exact measurements. I tend to just eyeball it, but I'd say it's probably about 1 part lemon juice, 1 part honey, and 2 parts mustard. And then I just mix this up and I'm good to go. So an example of how I might eat this as a side is for dinner that night, we had some baked salmon with asparagus and corn, and so I just threw this on to kind of have as like a side salad. And it's just an easy way to get in some like extra greens. And because I always get asked if my husband eats what I eat, here's a variation of what he's eating that night. So he's having kind of the same thing, but he's having a piece of steak instead of salmon, and he's having some fries instead of the chickpea salad. Next up, I'm making a bunch of grilled vegetables. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I'm all about eating vegetables if they're prepared ahead of time for me. And I find that grilling them in bulk is just a really quick way to do that. And I'll share some different examples of how I eat it, but I find that grilled vegetables are just so tasty and I'm way more likely to eat them. I'm just dicing up some summer squash, some zucchini, and some mushroom. And all I do is season it with olive oil, salt, and pepper. And then I add a little bit of garlic paste. I love this like pre-done garlic paste. I love having this garlic paste on hand when I need a little garlic, but I'm either like in a rush or I'm out of fresh garlic. Just makes it super quick and easy. And I'm just gonna throw these on the grill. I don't have a grill basket, so I'm just using some tin foil. One of my favorite ways to eat grilled vegetables is to make it into kind of like an entree, and I throw it into a bowl and I top it with some parsley, big chunks of goat cheese, feta works good too, and some toasted walnuts. You could also do pecans. You guys, this is so freaking delicious to eat alone, to have as a side. It is such a tasty meal that's like literally all vegetables. Okay, one other way that I eat the 2 dishes that I just shared, and an example of how I use that tofu that I told you about, is I'm gonna make kind of like a Buddha bowl. These are great because you can kind of use like whatever is left over in your fridge. So on this night, I'm taking my tofu, slicing that up and adding some hummus, some tabbouleh, some tzatziki, as well as some avocado and cucumber, some spinach, and some olives. Then I'm just gonna add a spoonful of the chickpea salad, add some of the roasted vegetables, and that's it. We probably eat something like this at least once a week because it's just super simple. simple, it's healthy, you can kind of use what's already in your fridge, and it's just another example of how I incorporate some of those prepared foods. And one more husband example for you guys before I leave you. He's having some roast chicken with his. This is one of those chicken packs that I showed you, and then he's having some bread on the side. So it's a super simple variation to make it husband friendly in my house. But that does it with my sort of healthy grocery haul and some of my go-to healthy meals. I hope that you enjoyed this video. As always, thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day, and I will see you all in my next video.